Namaste, Samaste. Let us bow to our beloved Gurudev, beloved Sri Guruji, all masters of the lineage, and all masters of the world religions of all times and places. Let us bow to each other. Let us bow to all the departed souls that have died in the battleground of COVID-19. Let us pray and support all those warriors suffering in the arena of world crisis. Friends, nothing to worry and not to have any fear in the heart. Beloved Gurudev used to say, fear the source of fall. And Paramahansa Yogananji used to say, fear germinates all kinds of germs for all kinds of sickness and all kinds of sorrows. Unafraid, we are to move into the frontier of the future, eagerly looking for a new world, a new horizon of love, peace, and joy. Today's theme is Ishwara Pranidhana. Two words, Ishwara and Pranidhana. Ishwara normally we understand as God, Heavenly Father, divinity, formless God, and the like. Initially, Rishi used to consider this Ishwara as formless, the Brahman, the single, sublime substance in solitude. God knows we're in Ishwara Pranidhan or in eternal contemplation. There is not a second person, no second thing to talk to him, to play with him. Probably out of cosmic mega boredom, he produced the universe and his Leela still continues. Ishwara. Our ancestors have looked upon the concept of Ishwara in a very beautiful way, and it has evolved with the time. If you look, first the Prajapita, birth-related God. Yama, death-related God. Ganesha, to remove all obstacles. Hanumana, Garuda, the most beautiful vehicles of the gods, Ishwara. If you look to the most ancient time, when the formless God was considered as the only God, formless. But people quarreled among themselves, talked to the rishis, how to contemplate on the formless Lord. The form of the formless emerged in Purushottam Dham Puri. A human form, but it's not a human form. Hands are there, no palms, no fingers. Eyes are there, round and robust, no eyelid. Wonder of wonders, form of the formless. Ordinary people wanted a form to cling to contemplate. They want something. So remember how the evolution of panthenology in India. The incarnation that took place, direct descendancy. The fish incarnation, Meena avatar. The Kurma avatar in the form of the tortoise. The Narasingha, the half lion, half human incarnation. The Vamana, the dwarf incarnation. They came, and within moments of the fulfillment of the job, they disappeared. They withdrew. Another class of incarnations, they came over India, they came over the earth, better say, through the families. Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, Sri Buddha, Sri Shankar, and the like. They were born to the families. They started their Leela as a small child, went into that of the youth, then became warriors, and so on. The Leela continues. And they are being worshipped year after year day after day, since that day, the moment of historic divine descendancy of Sri Rama, subsequently Sri Krishna, and subsequently Sri Buddha and Sri Shankara. Another mind is always playing with the God. God, I want more forms of you. Two wonderful rivers of India, River Narmada, and from the river Narmada we got Shivalingam. From river Ganduki in the north, we got Saligram, one representing Lord Shiva, another representing Lord Rama or Krishna. Wonder of wonders. Two beautiful spiritual rivers in that two beautiful brackets kept the socio-religious evolution of the concepts in a beautiful and a first-class beautiful system. People of India, either a Shaivite or a Vaishnavite, they looked upon Shivalingam and Saligram as the God itself, Rameshwaram. The temple still symbolizes the presence of the Shivalingam. That is the beauty behind these images. Images made of stone, blessed by river Narmada and river Ganduki. Still, women are not happy. They wanted more kinds of gods. Every village there is a Grama Devati, there is a goddess, deity of the village. Mothers just picked up a stone, put two eyes there, a tongue there, made a nose there, and declared, this is Ma Mangala, Sthaneswari Grama Devati, deity of the village. 5 lakh plus villages in India, and every village there is a Grama Devati, there is a deity. Imagine looking this multiplicity of the presence of the form gods. We said 33 crores of gods for the people of India. Form God. Wherever you go, you find a form of the God. But beyond that, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and their feminine counterpart, Saraswati, Parvati, and Lakshmi, and Mother Kali. Wonder of wonders, Mother Kali. The point is to suggest form gods are in multiple numbers, magnificent numbers, but all emerge from the formless, and one day everything will become formless. That is the beauty of the concept of God in our country. Still, people are not happy. Even the modern times, many gods have been created. Many gods have been created. I will not name them. But now one problem of the people. Incarnations come one day. After a prolonged recess, another incarnation will come, millenniums apart. Who shall be there to grant solace to the people? Who? There rises the presence of the Gurus. Gurus are in between, and the Gurus are the incarnation of the gods, and they are in between the one incarnation and another incarnation, and they grant solace to the people, joy to the people, knowledge to the people. They lead the people in the direction of divinity. Masters are God. Brahma is one God, Vishnu is one God, and Maheshwar is one God. But my Guru, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, he is three rolled into one. That is the wonderful concept of the Guru in our country. Masters. Masterly masters have masterly led the people at different difficult times, from problems to that of peace, from difficulties to that of divine solutions. Nowhere, no time. You can find a place or a time bereft of a Guru in Akumari, Himachala. Presence of a Guru. These masters in the 18th century, in the 19th century, created a beautiful circumstance for which freedom struggle did survive, and we could win our India's independence. It's the masters. They save us when there is a decline of the virtues and the rise of the vices. Not that one should wait for only one Lord Krishna to incarnate once again for Dharma Sansthapanarthai. It is the gurus that do it constantly, year after year, just to uphold the essence of the Dharma, essence of the religion, essence of the philosophy, essence of the scripture, and mold, remold, shape, and reset the society to move the only one direction, direction of divinity. At this point, let me little bit jocularly come to our Kriya. On the day of the Kriya initiation, the master says, on this day of initiation, you will feel the triple manifestations of the divinity: sound, light, and vibration. May I ask you one thing, my friends? If you take a drop of water from the well, if you take a drop of water from the tap, supply water, take a drop of water from the nearest pond, take another drop from that of the ocean, send the 4 separate drops for the laboratory test. The instantaneous result will be, test will be H2O. If all masters say, if all scriptures say the soul is within me and you and everybody, soul is there, then what is that soul? How can I understand the soul is within? And they say soul is a part of the supreme soul. If the supreme soul is a big lamb, our soul is a small lamb. How can you find this similarity? How can you find it through an argument? So what the supreme soul is composed of? If the supreme soul is made of sound, light, and vibration, SLV, then the soul within me must exhibit the 3, and I must gain it through the meditation. If I find the 3, then I am sure God is in me, soul is in me, and I am the soul. I will grow through meditation, mature through meditation to reach that state of realization, to declare, I am the soul. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the soul. SLV. What the God is composed of? God is composed of SLV. Now, if these are multiple gods, what is the potency of the God? What is the splendor of the God? If you go to the 10th chapter of Gita, where the Lord determines, Lord defines the splendor and the spectacularities of its vast existence, propensities, and also the potentialities. Let me read one verse of the Gita, 21 of the 10th chapter. Adityanam aham Vishnu jyotisham raviransuman marijir marutam ashmi nakhyatranam aham sasi. He's declaring, I am everything. And the subsequent verses he says, what I am not. I am the Veda of all the Vedas, I am the Sama Veda. I am the Bhashava of all the gods. I am the mind of all the sense organs. I am the heavenly priest Brihaspati. I am the ocean. I am the Himalayan mountain. And I am the river Ganga. I am the Rishi, heavenly Rishi, that is Narada. I am Siddha Kapila Muni. I am that wonderful Ucheshrava Harsh, the Ashwa. And I am the elephant, Airavata, the most heavenly, beautiful Airavata. And I am Garuda, I am Ganga, I am Omkar, I am Gayatri, and I am Margashirsa of all the beautiful months. And I am also the spring of all the seasons. Oh, God has selected everything. Beautiful lover. He very lovingly picked up all the essence of everything in the universe that is available in a very beautiful way. And he also declares, Nanta asti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantava. O Arjuna, you cannot find an end to the vast expanse of my presence, the vast expanse of my existence, and the beauty, splendor, and everything that you can not dream of, cannot think of, unthinkable. Arjuna, I am everything. I am everything and I grow from everything. How? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. She has left nothing untold. The entire universe is born of one atom of my existence. And one day, the entire universe will collapse, merge into that atom of mine. In the 11th chapter of 11th chapter of Gita, Lord demonstrated his Vishwamurti. Arjuna was perplexed. What is it? Everything that is the universe that is there. Everything that is the universe that is there, including the 5 brothers, including Arjuna himself. His enemies, his foes, his friends, his family members, his relations, and everything. And all are flowing into his mouth and coming out of the mouth. But a wonder of this Vishwamurti. He could not stand it. He had to say, show me back your Rupam, Saumya Rupam, human form of Lord Krishna, form of my charioteer, Parthasarathi. Why I say all these things? Why? Such multiplicity of forms of you, my Lord, such a vastness of your presence, my Lord. How can I have Iswara Pranidhan? How can you contemplate you? Where is that capacity of mine? I'm just a drop of the ocean. How can the drop of the ocean can contemplate on you? Oh my Lord, help me, help me. Men and women, they cried. Lord said, look to your Guru. He will give his way. He will give a technique. He will give a direction. He will give an instruction that by which you can find me. Oh, drop of the ocean, you can find, you can realize and understand the vast ocean that I am. There lies Ishvara Pranidhan. There lies Ishvara Pranidhan. Ishvara is the God, multiplicity forms, or the fathomless, infinite form of the formless, or myself within. 3 ways. Form God, formless God, and the God within. Gurudev said, very, very difficult to find the God within. Hold him through your breath. Tameva Vayu Pratyaksham Brahmasi. I can't believe, oh Brahman, where you are, how fathomless, infinite you are. Difficult to capture you. I'm an ordinary human being. Ordinary scholarship. I'm ordinary merit. How can I fathom you? Gurudev says, the existence of the breath, inhalation, exhalation. This is the evidence of the Brahman. This is the evidence of the Brahman. This inhalation, exhalation continuing, so the Brahman is within me in the form of the soul. When the breath is gone, soul is gone, this body is no more, it is a dead one. Tvameva Vayu Pratyakhyam Brahmasi. And then, oh Vayu, you are my God. You are my Guru. You are my everything. I am the seeker of truth. You are the source of truth. Lead me. Lead kindly light. Lead me. When this eagerness comes, first phase of the Ishvara Pranidhana, when that Pranidhana, the eagerness to place her attention where? Somewhere, then the Guru comes to our help. Guru Padam, Param Padam. That is the Param Padam. To fix the attention of the Guru Padam. That is why on the holy birthday of beloved Gurudev, we go to Sri Mandir, and in our organized way, we conduct Sri Guru Paduka Puja, worshipping the holy feet of the Master. I can understand, my Lord, whether you are a sun or moon, whether you are here or not, whether Himalayas or the vast ocean, I can understand that. For me, my universe, my Ishvara, my Brahman lies there in the two holy feet of my Master. Ishvara Pranidhan begins. When this Ishvara Pranidhan, contemplation on the God, fixing the attention on the God, matures, then Guru Narayana blazons into Brahma Narayana, Ishvara Pranidhana. If you look to the nature, my friend, nature is the greatest university of yoga. Beloved Gurudev one day telling us a story in the form of the caterpillar complaining to the Brahman, why you have given this nasty body to me? People are not touching me. People are not looking at me. They'll hate me. Loving caterpillar. That was the reply of the Brahman. You are, I have made it such a way, you will be giving the lessons to the people to practice yoga. What that? Go back to earth, encapsulate yourself, contemplate on one pranidhana. Oh God, oh beautiful, oh Satya Shiva Sundaram, make me Sundaram, make me Sundaram, make me Sundaram. And the caterpillar became Sundaram, butterfly the Sundaram. Sri Guruji said, look at the caterpillar, look at the power of the yoga that he just engaged with, and that caterpillar became the butterfly. And you, all the disciples, he calling me and everybody sitting in his front. All of my loving friends, you are caterpillars. Come up with the courage, pluck up the determination that caterpillar did on that day. Merge into that the Brahman through the practice of meditation. Then you will become butterflies. I remember one day, it was the construction of Sri Guru Mandir. We are still 6 months to go for the inauguration of the temple, Sri Guru Mandir, and the follow-up birth centenary celebration to begin. There is an untimely rain. And all the marigolds and all the flowers that they are on the Guru Mandir lawn and anywhere, they were affected. Myself and Guruji are walking towards the Hariharanand Sarovar, the pond. I said, Baba, untimely rain has damaged a lot. All the flowers have gone. Baba shouted at me, what? Do I need the botanical flower? I need human flowers. I don't care for the botanical flower. You people are my promised future botanical. No, the spiritual human flowers. Grow yourself to that stage. I'll be happy. This marigold cannot make me happy. The marigold may make the tourists happy. Visitors may happy, but I am the least happy. I'm the least happiest one. I was wonderstruck. But an instruction from my master to become a good human flower. There lies the essence of the Ishvara Pranidhana. Now coming to another aspect. Have you seen the sunflower? Early morning, sunflower rises along with sunrise and looks to his beloved. Moves his neck and head in tune with the movement of the sun. And by the time sun is setting, sunflower is crying, oh my beloved, when will again come back tomorrow morning? Sunflower looking to the sun. That is an essence of the Ishvara Pranidhana. Every moment, every second of his life devoted to, with a loving devotion to his beloved, to her beloved. Look at the lily also, looking to the moon in the same loving devotion. Look to Sri Guruji, how he looks to Sri Gurudev, his master. One is a sunflower, the other is sun. I have been watching him since his students' professorial days and since his monkhood, and even his Paramahansa days. And now, as a servant, sitting as a holy feet, watching him, how he's guiding us. I've never seen Sri Guruji not thinking about the Gurudev. While eating of Gurudev, talking of Gurudev, writing about Gurudev, dreaming of Gurudev. He has told me many stories of his dream of beloved Gurudev. Not a week will go without dreaming Gurudev. Gurudev comes to talk to him in dream. I one day said, Baba, why didn't you write the dream dialogues between you and beloved Gurudev? He smiled. No, I cannot decipher what he said thereby. Ishvara Pranidhana. I remember that day. Beloved Gurudev attained Mahasamadhi. I was eagerly looking to my old friend, my Guru, Paramahansa Pragyananandaji Maharaj. Every time I saw he was singing songs of Gurudev, but for some days he could not sing. As if somebody sealed his lips, could not sing. One day, returning from Vienna at Baligai, he was entering to that of the restroom, and I heard Sri Guruji singing songs of Gurudev. When he came out, I said, Baba, I'm so blessed. At least for the first time, you are now singing about Gurudev. I made a request. I pray, kindly, can you write down those songs? These are his own compositions. We shall publish that book during the coming centenary celebration. And he did it. Ishvara Pranidhana. Not only the disciple to think of the master as a son for the son. Sometimes the master should think the same way. Once, Sri Guruji, because of some physical illness, was becoming lean and thin, losing and lost many pounds. He told me, he's told many people at public places also, how lovingly he'll say to Guruji, Baba, come inside the room. He will ask him to close the door. He might have kept something good food, nutritious food somewhere, hidden behind the shelf. He will try to take it, feed him. So motherly concern. So motherly concern. When her Ishvara Pranidhana are mature to that stage, no problem of her life will be there. Master will be behind me to protect me, help me to prosper in meditation and attain liberation. Ishvara Pranidhana. To make it more comfortable, beloved Gurudevs used to say, feel my presence in your breath. Feel my presence in your breath. Don't feel that I have gone anywhere. I am with you forever and ever. I'm guiding you. I'm loving you. I'm protecting you. Grow, grow, and grow. Feel my presence in your flow of the breath. Sri Guruji tells us every time, hello, I will lust watching your breath. Every time in a retreat or anywhere, 1,000 times, his discourse will be punctuated by this particular instruction and question. Are you watching your breath? Have you lost watching your breath? Resume it. Walk and watch, walk and watch. Every moment he used to advise us. Be tuned to the Anahata Dhvani. Listen, listen, listen to the songs of the God and heaven. One day, with Sampurnananda today, he was a Catherine Ma yesterday, and Guruji, we three were flying to Miami. We had a stopover in Frankfurt. While landing, Baba was beside me. Hello, where is your music in the ears? Well, Baba, it's lost. He smiled. Let's try to resume it. Sri Guruji was tuned to the divine sound, beginning his childhood, covering the 2 ears with the glasses, steel glasses or cups, listening to the sound, unaware whether that is Anahata Dhvani or not. He was loving, and that was Ishvara Pranidhana. The day he was first initiated, higher sound is not leaving him. He was perplexed. He was searching for the source of the sound. Finally, beloved Gurudev said, he is solely the source of your sound. And he is convinced. He told us, since that day, he had never missed a second hearing the divine sound, talking to us, chastising us, helping us, reforming us, directing us, redirecting us, walking with us. He is there, always reminding, tune yourself to divine sound. That is another stepping stone to Ishvara Pranidhana. Not only that, he says, this is a game of hide and seek. Sound, light, and vibration. They may come, they may not come, but sound must be there. Holding to the sound, search for the two others. The mother, the cosmic mother, will be very gracious. One day you will be the winner. Friends, let us again resolve ourselves to resume this particular path of, say, recovering ourselves from the listening to the sound, seeing the light, feeling the vibration. SLV merged with this SLV, one day we will be free. Our everything, all burdens are gone. Gurudev and Guruji have taken, will take away all our burdens and will be free. Swear into the return journey to the abode of love and peace. Jai Guru. God bless us all.